I am Shukanta Sarkar, Assistant Professor of Political Science, Matabanga College. Today, I will introduce the topic 3 of my course, the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. Here, I will discuss about 6 kinds of right to freedom that is guaranteed by the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. Originally, Article 19 contained 7 rights, but the right to property was deleted by the 44th Amendment Act of 1978. Now it has 6 rights. These rights are, you can see, right to freedom of peace and expression, to assemble peacefully without arms, to form associations or unions, to move freely throughout the territory of India, to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India, to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. And this right is available for only Indian citizens, not for foreigners. First, we focused on freedom of peace and expression. Democracy and freedom of peace and expression are the two sides of the same coin. Democracy without freedom and freedom of peace and expression simply cannot exist at all. Freedom of peace and expression includes the expression of views by communicable medium or visible expression, gestures, banners, posters, caricatures, etc. etc. It also includes publication, the freedom of press. Reasonable restrictions on freedom of peace and expression. Here, uh, the Supreme Court decide whether a restriction is reasonable or not. The state can impose this reasonable restriction on the grounds of state security, sovereignty and integrity of India, friendly relation with foreign states, public order, decency or morality, contempt of court, defamation or incitement to an offence. Freedom to assemble peacefully without arms. The Constitution provides that the citizens have the right to assemble peacefully without arms. This right is also implied in the freedom of peace and expression. If we want to express our thoughts, I can express through my word of mouth. And for this purpose, we need audience. Without audience, our screen will be meaningless. This right also include to take out positions. Restrictions on the right to freedom of assembly, to assemble peacefully without arms, and the state can impose reasonable restrictions in the interest of sovereignty and integrity of India and public order. Keeping in view the problem of public order, the meeting of a particular association may not be allowed at a particular locality to prevent break of peace. Also, route of possession can be regulated in order to regulate the traffic and to prevent the break of peace. Right to form associations and restrictions on it. The Constitution also guarantees the right to form associations or union to the citizens of India. Due to this right, we can organize political parties, trade unions, student unions, etc., etc. And these are very important for the democratic functioning of the state. Reasonable restrictions can also be imposed on this right in the interest of sovereignty and integrity of the nation, public order, or morality. Suppose thieves and dacoit, they are not allowed to form unions or associations because it will be dangerous for public order. Freedom of movement and restrictions. The right allows citizens to move from one part of the country to the other and also from one part of the state to the other. This has been enjoined in order to prevent variabilism as well as ensure the concept of all India citizenship. On the following grounds, reasonable restrictions can be imposed in the interest of the general public and the protection of the interests of any scheduled tribe. Suppose a area or a person afflicted with a contagious disease, his movement can be restricted, or a healthy person can be prevented to visit a particular place that is afflicted with a contagious disease. Right to reside and settle and the restrictions on it. The citizens of India have the right to reside and settle in any part of the country, and the state can impose reasonable restrictions on this right in the interest of general public and for the protection of the interests of any scheduled tribes. For the protection of the interests of the scheduled tribes, there is a provision uh, to prevent the non-tribals to settle in tribal areas. Right to freedom of profession, occupation, trade or business. The citizens also have the right to freedom to practice any profession or carry on any occupation, trade or business. The state can impose reasonable restrictions on this right in the interest of the public by prescribing professional or technical qualifications for practicing a particular profession or carrying on any occupation, trade or business. Creating exclusive or partial monopoly of a particular trade or business by corporations owned or controlled by the state. For starting medical practice, one should have to pass an MBBS degree. This kind of professional qualification can be imposed by the state.